Hi, and welcome to a very special Nerdsmith game. I'm Kyle, and I am your dungeon master and host this evening. And I'm going to turn it over to Heather after I say how much I have loved getting to know and work with the nerdsmith.org organization over the last 3 or 4 months. I have never met a more professional group of tabletop role playing gamers, which should, by definition, fit perfectly together because it is a very professional hobby that we are all involved in. Without further ado, though, because this is a very special occasion for the next 2 weeks where Nerdsmith is asking for your help in subbing up at nerdsmith.org and becoming a sponsor and supporter of what they're trying to do. And I think everyone watching today should do their best to find a couple of bucks in their pocket to throw Nerdsmith's way. Heather, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Nerdsmith?
Okay, so and of course, right when you go to me, I accidentally closed the window, but that's okay. So, Nerdsmith is a nerdy entertainment group. It's a network. We've got a whole bunch of different shows, and actually, most of us here tonight are on the network. We'll go into that more later when everyone introduces themselves. But as far as our subdrive, so we have a sort of situation where we give all of our amazing content away for free. All of our podcasts, all of our streams, everyone who puts something out on YouTube, it's all free for you all to enjoy and view or listen to, depending on which one it is. But one of the things that is nice is that our subscribers can support our different creators either through various means, but sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. But right now, what we focus on is the subdrive. So you can go to nerdsmith.org/subdrive and find out more information. You can also go to nerdsmith.org/donate to find out more information about being one of our subscribers and how it all works. But the basics is if you donate, sorry, my cat's doing stuff in the background, ironically. If you sign up during the subdrive, we've got some special goodies that you also get access to. There's a bunch of different levels you can sign up at depending on what works for you. My cat is being a butthead. All of that noise. Sorry. There's the $10 level is one of the most common, and at that level you get a bunch of perks. You get access to all of our bonus content. Every show on the network has created bonus content. Some of them have created multiple. Looking at Anne. And they're all amazing. None of them are required for listening to the show, but they are all a lot of fun and enjoyable. And then on top of that, you can also get things like a dice from Die Hard Dice, a special D20 just for the subdrive. There's also a subscriber pin, and there's a mug at the highest level, which is Superstar. Each level, you get a certain number of creator coins, and each of those coins lets you donate directly to one of the creators. So, for instance, at the highest level, it's $35 for the Superstar level, and you get it's 35, so you get 7 creator coins that you can spread out through however many shows you want to support, or you can also choose to just support the network itself. And it's amazing and fun, and I don't know what else to say. So to move on, I'm Heather, for anyone who isn't aware. I'm one of the directors at Nerdsmith, one of the resident cat ladies at Nerdsmith, big surprise, and I'm on a lot of shows. I'm on Shenanigans, I'm on Countless Heroes, I'm on Geek Thyself, I've guested on Wand. There's probably others we've got in the works somewhere, or other things I'll be on at some point. But that's me, and with that, I guess I'll pass it on to the next person. So who wants to go next? Oh, sorry. You can find me on Twitter at amethyst_magic. It's down below my picture.
How about we turn it over to Anne?
Hi! Surprise! I'm Anne, but I'm also known as Kajari on Twitter. And I am the host of Kajari's Curious Crafts. It's a show here on Twitch. I create D&D terrain, tabletop gaming terrain. I craft it on my 2-hour show, normally on Tuesday nights, but today it's a crazy day. And I also do a sewing show on Thursdays, and I write a D&D one-shot campaign writing on Fridays on Curious Crafts on Twitch.
I recommend checking it out. It was a lot of fun, and I didn't learn anything, although I think she wanted me to. How about we move on to Lucky?
I'm Lucky Maloney, and I am not on Nerdsmith yet, but we have been recording the Forlorn Hope podcast for the last few months, trying to bank up enough content so we can get edited and get it on Nerdsmith as soon as possible.
That's wonderful. And last but not least, Kim.
I'm Kim. I am on the Chaotic Goodness podcast, and I play Flossie, and I'm also part of Nerdsmith, and really excited to be here tonight.
Can we find you on Twitter?
Yes, right down there. Is it wine 30 yet?
Yes, which is one of my favorite slogans, although I can't drink wine. I'm Kyle. I am the host, producer, and creator of Tavern Tales, and also the itinerant player of Jot on Countless Heroes. Today, I am running these 4 intrepid adventurers through my home-created game, one-shot, called Not Mushroom for Options. Pause for laugh. That being said, it takes place in a middle to large town, village, city, some sort of cultural center. And specifically, we start our adventure in the kitchens of the Spire, which is a magical academy. And as you can imagine, a magical academy like this would have a large and bustling, busy kitchen. And as part of the adventure, one of the very first things is I have the players roll 2 d6s. The first d6 determines the tenure chart, how long they have been working in the kitchens. The second is the employment chart, which literally brings to what they're currently doing in the kitchens. Now, they can always tell me if they don't wish to roll, but I thought it would be really fun to put this chart together for this adventure and have them roll up. So the kitchens in the Spire are a busy and bustling place, employing 30 to 40 individuals in different and varying capacities, day and night. Many of them are apprentices and students performing mundane tasks as a means to discount their intuition. Intuition? That isn't the right word, Kyle. What? Their tuition. You are all drudges working at the Spire for one reason or another and the kitchen itself. Let's figure out how you got there. Would any of you like to roll on the tenure chart? How about Heather?
Sure. So am I rolling 1d6 for each thing or 2d6?
Yeah, roll a d6 and I'll tell you how long you've been there.
Okay. That's a 4.
A 4 is you are tired of all this shit after only 6 months.
That sounds
It's only
about
been
right,
6
actually.
months and it's so tiresome. And what does your character do in the kitchens?
5.
You are room service.
Yeah, that doesn't
There we
sound like
go.
a good idea for a barbarian.
I don't know exactly how you service the rooms. That's up to you. Let's move on from this, and you can tell us a little bit about who you're bringing to the adventure today.
Okay, so hi, my name is Sparkles, and I'm a Tabaxi barbarian, and technically my full name is Sparkles in the Sunshine, but that's really long, and my mom likes shiny things, and Sparkles is easier, so just call me that, or you can call me Sparks.
I see cat ears and lovely cat makeup. You may have inspiration to start the adventure.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
How about we have Kim go next? Would you like to roll on the
Alrighty.
tenure chart?
Yes, I would. I got a 1.
A 1. It is,
Yeah.
sir, it's my first day.
It is. It is.
And what did you get hired to do? If you'd like to roll on the employment chart, you may, or you may decide what you'd like to do. What'd you get?
A 6.
A 6. You are the scrubber.
Hmm.
Yep.
I
What you
fully
scrub?
intend to get promoted right away. I have way too much experience for this.
Excellent. And why don't you tell us who you're bringing to the table today?
I am Rosie, and that's short for Rosemary. And I'm a halfling, a bard. Yes. And I work in pastry, and I expect to be moved up quickly.
What kind of bard are you? How do you perform?
I perform mostly by making cakes and catering events, and I use my magic to make my cakes sparkle, and sometimes they even have like little dancing people on top.
So when you cast and you give bardic inspiration, do you just hand out cookies?
No, I
Oh,
do
okay.
actually play music.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, I will call upon you for that for sure. Heather, I forgot something. What does Sparkles look like?
So Sparkles is a black tabaxi with long floofy hair that she is constantly having to try to keep out of the food when she's carrying things around.
Perfect. Yeah, just short and simple for now is great. How about we move across the screen to Anne?
Hi. Okay, so my character's name is Maresta, and she is a sea elf rogue. She has long blue hair, and she is very quiet. She has lived under the sea for a period of time, not by her own doing, and then she became a sailor. She's only in town for a month on an extended shore leave while they work on repairs on the ship. So she came to the kitchens because she received an important clue to the location of something she's searching for. So she's just now knocking on the kitchen door looking for a job so that she can kind of poke around and look for more information about.
Let's have her roll on the tenure chart to see what happened since then, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Sure.
Just because I like my tenure chart.
2.
You are, sir, it's also my first day, but you've actually been there for a couple of months, and the head chef is constantly overlooking you. He doesn't seem to notice who you are and has gotten
Okay.
but you're more than welcome to roll that back to say, hey, I am here and I have a quest.
Whatever you want to do is fine with me.
No, it's fine. Let's roll on the employment chart to find out what
Okay.
you've been hired to do at the kitchens.
Oh boy. Okay. 3.
3 is you're the weird dough or the loafer.
Sure. That works.
Perfect. And last, but certainly not least, Lucky.
I'm playing Magnir Druskadin. I'm a dwarven ranger, hunter, and guide who, if I'm going to roll, that's fine, but the idea was I would be a purveyor of game, and I also brew beer and supply that to the kitchens as well.
Perfect. Well, let's see what you roll to see what you wound up for employment, and then perhaps you've been promoted since there. How long have you been working there at the least?
Sure. 2.
2. Oh, well, we've already gotten a 2. Let's see if you can roll a different number.
3.
3. You're the employee of the month. It's only been 1 month, but what a month. Just so you all know, nobody rolled a 6, and that was you've been there for at least a decade, and you got a fountain pen for your anniversary. And at 5, it's just a simple 4 years. What did you get on the employment chart there?
Interestingly enough, in quick backstory I wrote, it was over a decade, but dwarves, they live forever. I figured he'd be doing the same job for a long time.
Fair.
Employment 6.
6 has already been taken. Somebody's already working as the scrubber. We need you to do something different.
Another 6.
Really wants to scrub. You scrubbed for a while.
Yeah, all right. 4.
You can have my job.
4 you're the beater. You beat meat as your job.
That would make sense. I bring it in, and then I
Yep,
beat
you
the
bring
crap
it
out
in,
of it.
and then you beat it. To go over the employment chart, if you'd rolled a 1, you would be the Superman. If you rolled a 2,
Aw.
you'd be the
Ooh.
salad tosser. We have our weird dough / loafer. We have a meat beater. Somebody's doing room service. And scrubber. There is your employment and tenure chart as we set the scene for the beginning of this adventure, where the 4 of you have been summoned summarily into, yes, you can get paid for that, chaotic goodness, where you've been summoned summarily into the offices, the room of the head chef. The head chef is a swarthy human. We'll describe him in a moment. Can I get some help describing this cramped and very pungent room that you find yourselves in? Heather, it's giving off an emotion. You feel immediately what when you step into the room?
You feel immediately like closed in on. Very small room. The walls are really close together, and he's got way too much crap sitting everywhere in there.
What is some of this crap he's got sitting everywhere, Kim?
Stacks of scrolls and books, and oddly, there's pots and pans even. No, it's really messy in here. I just feel suddenly compelled to clean.
Okay, great. And Lucky, there's a giant desk, let's say. It's just a huge desk, and it's being weighed down by something strange. What is that thing that's weighing this desk down?
I don't know. The pots and pans are already taken, so I'm at a loss.
Well, does anybody else have an offer for Lucky?
A giant boar's head.
A giant boar's head. And there's something wrong with this boar's head. So you can picture it in your mind's eye, Lucky. What is wrong with this boar's head?
Well, that's obvious. It has a giant third eye right here.
Oh.
That is... Okay, I can picture this room, and what you're missing in this room is this giant fellow. And I forgot to point out, I was very impressed with your cloak and your whole costume there, and the fact that you grew this luxurious dwarven beard. Lucky, Magnir also has inspiration. I love Rosie's apron that she already has on for pastry chefing. So you too may have inspiration. And Anne, what your backdrop is more than enough for me to be inspired. But what is it you're wearing for your character to inspire my imagination?
I have nothing on that. I have no costume on,
Okay.
but my character has a huge dragon's earring piercing that comes around and wraps around her elven ear.
Well, I don't want to leave you out. You may have inspiration as well for your
you.
backdrop and your lovely description of your earring.
Technically, you matched your nail polish. I saw your Twitter thing.
I did.
That's true.
MC Teal. See?
That was a good choice.
I am not going to let this stand. I will now put on my costume for the head chef.
Uh-oh.
What?
Awesome.
Yay!
Not done.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
And he calls you in. Are you ready?
Total immersion.
Aha! Mon amis, it is I, Zotalor, the head chef, and welcome one and all to my chambers. I have a special mission for you, a special thing I need for you to do. And as you are all very shitty kitchen employees, except for you, Rosie, you make the delightful little things. I love to just, your cakes, I put them in my face. And of course, Zoot probably
Thank
does, because
you.
he is a big man. He
And his name-
Sorry?
His name is...
Zootalor.
Okay, got it.
I will describe him as I wrote him down. A human more round than he is tall, heavily sampling everything throughout the day that passes through his kitchens. He sweats profusely and doesn't so much speak as he shouts everything with tons of energy and excitement. He says, 3 things for the meal this evening. 3 things we do not have. Zotalor needs a lemon lime grass, a crystal spring water, and the bearded tooth mushrooms. You can remember these things, yes?
That was lemon
yes.
lime grass, and I forgot the other two.
Don't repeat for me. Zotalor would know what
Lemon-
it is. When I was young and less round, my friend Toot Alu and I used to take a day trip to the gladed forests north of the city. There is a little pond where we would catch le poisson. Ah, good memories of good times. How I miss him. He never did come back from the war. You'll find the grasses in the glades to the forest in the north. It's not far outside the city. There is an oak tree nearby, and it had the mushrooms before. Ah, the bearded tooth mushrooms. They only grow on oak trees, you know. There is a crystal spring near there as well. Bring back a bucket of this water too, please. That will delight our guest to no end. Here is a shrooming basket. He gives you a beautiful basket. Can someone describe this basket for me?
It's woven of very intricate green vines from the nearby willow trees.
Oh, that's delightful. Any other color that anyone would like to add to this basket? Maybe there's a kerchief inside.
I'm
It's
seeing
very-
light blue.
Yes, light blue.
Wow, that's synchronous. There is also, to accent it, a beautiful yellow silk ribbon wrapped around the handle of this basket. It's like a mustardy color, aged with time. He says, I have used this shrooming basket ever since I found the mushrooms that first time. Funny how those mushrooms always remind me of my friend the Toot. He was training to be a ranger, like you, Magnir. But he was called away to the war. I miss him and that stupid hat with a feather in it of his. I will need you back in 3 hours, no more, no less. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes, 3
Yes, sir.
hours.
Do you have any questions for Zotalor?
Is there anything that we should bring with us
Well, you have the basket.
other than the basket? I mean,
Well, I mean-
you know.
There is a cart you can take out front.
A cart sounds useful.
By all means, Zot is more than giving.
Very much so. Thank you, sir.
Do we have to worry about any wild animals by any of these spots? Just a head,
That's
one
what
a
I
heads
was
up.
thinking.
It's not that far away. I mean, most people go on a romantic picnic in the area, but you never know what you may find in the forests north of the city.
Romantic picnics near water? No, thank you.
Whatever works for you. Floats another's boat.
I don't mind the water. If it's near water, I can handle that.
Deal.
I think the two of you shall be the best of friends.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go find lemon lime grass, bearded tooth mushrooms, and crystal spring water. Do we have a bucket, or is there a bottle in here? She starts opening up the basket.
There is indeed. There is a flask of some kind. Why don't you describe it for me, Heather?
Okay, I feel like it's, instead of being one of the little round ones, it's one of the more oblong ones, and looks really beat up. Lots of dents and stuff in it, even though it still looks pretty sturdy.
It's an old Contigo. I gotcha.
There's also a twine, like a leather strap around the top of it with a little tag on it, like a leather tag that says property of you, the chef.
Property of you?
The chef.
Oh, it says property of Zoot?
Yeah, suit.
Excellent. I love it. With that, Zotalor shoos you from the rooms unless you have any niggling things that you would like to bring up with Zotalor.
I'm unfamiliar with this area. I haven't been in the area very long. Is there any other dangers we should worry about out in the...
Do I look like I leave these kitchens?
Oh, okay, all right. We'll go. We'll go.
I have no doubt that the four of you stalwart adventurers will be more than capable of dealing with whatever could possibly be upon you in the forest. Or it wouldn't be an adventure.
Indeed, I know these forests well. I should be able to guide us there with not any problem whatsoever.
Excellent.
All right. I guess we go then.
Yes.
Remember,
Better than
3 hours.
right.
Gotcha.
Sparkles pops her head back in right before everyone's completely gone. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
the guest
No,
in
I'm taking off my mustache.
the guest in room 23 was complaining about something, but I'll talk to you later. Bye, boss.
That does not sound good. He calls out a name. Can I just get a quick name, Lucky?
Mariel.
Mariel, you son of a dog! Get in here! And that's what you hear as Zutalor, and that ends the scene. You pass through the kitchens, and everyone eyes you unhappily as you've been selected to leave the kitchens in the hot, sweltering summer day that is upon you, and how hot the kitchens can be with the hearths roaring. You head out front, and there is a cart there. Who would like to describe the cart for me?
It looks very old and rickety.
It's old and rickety. Great.
Yeah.
How many wheels does it have?
Just
4,
two.
but one of them is wonky.
I like
Yes,
that better.
I noticed that too. One of the wheels is kind of, I don't know, it looks like it could fall apart
It
if
like,
you look
it
at
like
it wrong.
shakes as we go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Lucky,
Yeah.
what's pulling the cart?
An equally dilapidated donkey.
It's a
With
donkey.
mangy
Great.
spots.
Heather, what's the donkey's name?
Oh God. The donkey's name is Bambi.
I love it. And Kim, your character does know Bambi or doesn't know Bambi?
She does. Bambi was following along behind the wagon that she used to get her to the current city. So they've met.
Excellent.
The donkey
And
really likes cake.
likes cake. Perfect. And there's a vegetable that the donkey, of course, loves to no end as well. And I'll throw that to Twitch chat, where they can tell us the first person to write a vegetable, that's the vegetable the donkey loves. 3, 2, 1. Twitch chat, you were too late getting me a vegetable. So as a result, oh, there it is. Tomato. Fine. That's not a vegetable, Twitch chat. That's a fruit. But I accept your offer. Thank you. The donkey loves tomatoes, and there is a small sack of tomatoes sitting in this rickety cart as you head north out of the town. It is a beautiful day. What makes it beautiful, Heather?
Despite the fact that it's really hot out in summer, there's a nice breeze. So it's very comfortable for us out here, not so much back at the kitchens, though.
And there's a sound just off that's pleasant to the ears. Lucky, what's the sound that your character can hear that's just off in the distance?
Just the faintest babble of a brook.
Huh, I love it. Perfect. Everyone can picture that. Now we will enter the part that I've been looking forward to the most. Everyone roll a single d20. This is not initiative. What this is the passing of time. It takes about an hour to get north to the glade, and then rather than describe it all as a or have a random encounter, what we'll do is each of the four of you will have something good or something bad happen along the way. So after you roll a d20, you can tell me if you rolled an 11 or higher, something good happened, and you'll get to tell us what that good thing was. If it is a 10 or lower, something bad happened, and you get to describe what that was. So we'll go from left to right for me. We'll start with Heather.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20.
What wonderful and amazing thing happens to your characters along the way?
So along the way, we run into a vendor whose cart broke down, and he's so happy when we help him fix it real quick, and it doesn't take a long time, so we're not way behind, that he gives each of us a free healing potion.
Oh, yay!
I rolled a 20.
Yes. You all have healing potions.
Woohoo!
One of them is not a real healing potion, but you don't know
Okay.
which one.
Ooh.
That's fair.
Okay. All right.
Healing potions galore. They are all the 2d4 plus 4 healing potions that you would normally get to have. That's great. What was the name of this guy with the broken down cart, Lucky?
Glack.
Glack. And what race was he, Kim?
He's a dwarf.
He's a Glack the dwarf. And
Naturally.
when he greets people and introduces himself, Anne, can you sound like Glack would sound for us?
He says, "Hello, me babies."
Right, because he doesn't know how to cart at all. He's used to being on a ship. He's a
Sure.
shipwright who has come upon hard times. Wonderful.
Sounds
That
good.
yeah, and no wonder he actually has a whole case of 12 healing potions that he just picked up at the spire, and he is so thankful he's willing to part with 4 of them. And you're next. What did you roll?
I rolled an 18.
An 18.
I did.
Wow. Great.
Um,
What awesome, wonderful thing happened to this adventuresome party on the way?
They find another vendor. No, I'm kidding. They discovered that the path is clear and their travel is light.
Cool. And what great, wonderful thing happened? Is it a conversation? Do you find commiseration between the 4 of you and a common cause?
Actually, yes. I turned to Sparkles and I asked her why she doesn't like the water.
Well, I mean, cat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being around cats very much. You see, I lived most of my life, underwater, and there weren't a lot of cats there. And then
That
I
makes sense.
lived
Wait,
on
underwater?
a ship. It's a long story.
That sounds
I'll tell you one day.
horrible.
It was yeah, horrible. But I was rescued, and I'm a sailor now, so that's kind of cool. But we don't see a lot of cats. So can I just pat your head a little?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, and I pat her head.
We have a
And it makes
freeze
me
frame
feel-
vignette as the camera slowly zooms in, and the music of the fast and true friendship that has been struck up by this meet cute moment between the tabaxi and the sea elf.
Yes.
Friends forevermore. If the
Thank
2
you,
of you are
sir.
within 5 feet of each other in combat, you may have advantage as a result of your wonderful conversation and the roll that you had. Lucky,
like this
what
one.
did you get?
I got a 5.
Ooh, what terrible, horrible thing. No good, very bad adventure did you have?
I feel like I have to go with that rickety wheel. It broke.
Yep,
Oh,
of course.
no.
Yep, you lost the wheel.
I mean, we were able to fix it. It just it sets us back about the same amount of time that we gain from the nice, light, clear path.
Oh, good one.
But
That
something bad also happened, and that was when the wheel broke and fell off and it landed down. They needed to fix the wheel, mending, and all the other things he needed to do. That bag of tomatoes rolled off, and our lovely donkey Bambi ate them all. So there's no more treats for Bambi in case you need to cajole or bribe Bambi going forward.
It doesn't give him gas, does it?
When Lucky sees, yes, thank you for the offer. It gives him terrible gas for whoever is driving the cart,
Excuse
who
me.
just so happens to be, I don't know. I'm going to roll a d4, and I'm going to pick who's driving the
Boy.
cart. It is Anne. Marista is driving the cart. And since she's, chatting and cuddling with Sparkles, it's no doubt that the two of them are sitting up there together, getting a face full of sulfur.
My eyes are watering.
What does Lucky say when he sees Bambi eat the last of the tomatoes?
What do I say?
Yeah, what does Magnir say?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be damned if I'm gonna give him any treats out of my own bag. That's for sure.
Awesome. Thanks. And lastly, Kim, what'd you roll on your D20?
I rolled a 4.
Wow. We start with beautiful successes and end with terrible travesties and failures. What
Yes.
horrible, terrible thing occurred to the party as you tried to make your way unto the forest?
So there's that fell across this beautiful path that we're on. And it's big enough that we need to get it out of the way. And there's also it seems to have disturbed a nest of squirrels. And they're quite upset about it. They look a little bit angry.
All right. The squirrels attack with flying nuts. There's no need to
Something
roll
like that.
initiative. You defeat the squirrels. You manage to get around the tree, but it takes an extra 15 minutes. And now you are 15 minutes behind on your attempt to get to back all of the things you need to get and return. After an hour and 15 minutes, you enter a clearing. The sun reaches its zenith as the game trail you're following through a forested area opens up to arrive at a rolling plain with 4-foot-tall grasses. It is at least several acres in size, a small pond beside 2 little hillocks completely bordered by the forest. One of the hillocks is bare of grass, and it's just bare brown earth in the sun. The other hillock bears the telltale texture, color, and shimmer of what you've come here for: lemon and lime grass.
Did Zoot, the Zoot dude, did he ask us how much of this we needed? I don't recall.
No, he didn't seem to tell you how much you needed to collect.
Huh.
He also didn't really tell you how to harvest lemon and lime grass, which looks peculiar in the light. So I will ask you all to make a nature check in order to determine if your character knows how to cut lemon and lime grass.
Oh.
Maybe.
I have a 16.
17.
I rolled a 2, but I have a -1, so I don't know.
I got a 6.
What does Marista say upon seeing the grass?
Well, the first thing she would do is grab one of her daggers and just like,
She's just cutting at the regular grass.
Sure. She's just cutting. Is this it? Is this the stuff? And she's like collecting as much as she can.
I
And
love
she's
it.
filling up the basket. Yeah.
Perfect. Kim, how did you roll?
I got a 6.
A 6. So you
Yeah.
have no idea one way or the other. Heather and Lucky, are your characters trained or proficient in nature, or is this just a standard check for you?
Standard check for me.
Right.
Proficiency.
Your proficiency and your 16 gives you a little bit more knowledge than what Heather's Sparkles get, because Sparkles just knows, hey, that's the lemon and lime grass. And you can tell that you need to remove the lemon and lime grass in a specific way. There are some things that need to be done. In actuality, there's 3 different things that have to be done to lemon and lime grass in order to harvest it properly. The first thing is what, Heather?
You have to dig up the whole plant. You can't just cut the grass. You have to dig it up from the roots.
Perfect. 2, what do you have to do, Lucky?
She stole mine.
Sorry.
It's fine. You have to then gently wash the dirt off of the roots in clear running water.
Right away, right?
Oh, absolutely right away.
Okay, perfect. And the third thing you have to do, Anne or Kim, what is the third weird, crazy thing? Because this is you have to do to this plant in order to harvest it properly.
You have to tell it that it's a good little plant, and you promise to be nice to it.
Yes,
For-
yes.
Yes, canon. That is what you have to do in order to remove lemon and lime grass. Magnir and Sparkles have rolled sufficiently high enough to know those three things between the two of them, with no help from the other two characters, which is fine. That's not where your skill sets
I'm
lie.
just throwing grass around.
Marista, wait, stop.
What? I've got a whole... Look, I've got the basket almost full. Let's go. We gotta go collect the rainwater and what other thing? The mushroom thing?
Dump it
Yeah,
out.
that's not how
Dump
you
it
have
out.
to get it.
Oh. Sorry. My bad.
It's okay. It smells good.
You got to dig up the whole root first. See?
Dump it out.
Yeah,
The whole root?
the whole root. And I'll take my hand axe and sort of gouge in around maybe 2 or 3 inches around the outside and pull up the whole thing.
Well, if we have to clean it with the water, do we have water?
There is a pond.
I'll go get the water. I'm good at water. And I go get the water.
As you head to go and get the water, as you're standing on the hillock to go and get things, I just would like to know what everyone's passive perception is to begin with.
12.
12.
15.
13.
Excellent. And then I would just like everyone to make an active perception check. And Marista, you have disadvantage on this roll.
Oh.
Nat 1.
Oh no. That's a synthetic 20.
Synthetic 20, nice.
Synthetic.
An unnatural 20, yep. How did
I
you
got
do,
a
Kim?
12.
How's Rosie? Rosie is at a 12. And
17.
Marista? Yes. Okay, perfect. Oh, with disadvantage?
Yeah, I had a 17 and a 14, and I have a +3, so.
Well done. Marista and Lucky. You look up from your pulling of some grass as Marista rushes forward towards the pond. And that other hillock, that weird, devoid of grass hillock, raises and lowers.
I say, everyone
Raises
quiet!
and lowers.
Shh.
But unfortunately, as you were running for the pond at the time, saying, I'll go get it,
Oops.
it shakes itself off because it is not a hillock at all, but is in fact a giant boar. And having been awakened from its sunning nap, it leaps to its feet and snorts viciously. Can I just get some color to describe this beautiful giant boar? Heather, what are its tusks like?
I think it's got like 1.5 tusks. Like one is big and jutting out forward and normal, and the other one looks like it's been broken off in something, but it made it worse because now it's sharp and pointy and jagged instead of just the normal tusk.
Thanks, Heather.
Sorry.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you. What color is it underneath the dirt that it is covered onto itself, Kim?
It's kind of like this, honestly, it's hard to tell because underneath the dirt, its coat, it's covered in like a moss. It's almost like it just really spends a lot of time rolling around in dark, wet places in the forest.
Perfect. Yeah, I can picture that
Yeah.
in my head.
Kind of a
And-
greenish, muddy color.
I love it. And Anne, how old is it? Is it a young, virile boar, or is it an old, wily boar?
It's
Or is it a middle-aged and gone to pot dad bod boar?
It's a young
Hashtag
Dally
dad
boar.
It's a
It's
young
a
virile
young-
boar.
Yes, I rolled poorly.
Excellent. I can picture this in my head as we fall into initiative. And one of the things, because we are in a streamed game, I have chosen to ask all my players to roll some initiative checks beforehand. And so I'm going to take the second check from this pool, and I've already rolled the boar. Now, the boar has surprise on 2 of you, but not on Lucky. So, or on, who else did I say beat the roll? Anne's character, Maresta. So the 2 of you are not caught by surprise because you saw the up and down of the breathing. The other 2 of you will be acting in the next round. So the boar roars up, but unfortunately it only has an 11 initiative. So that means that Maresta will go first, followed by Magnir, and then the boar, then will go into the regular round. And what I like to do typically is also figure out what you're going to do ahead of time and just roll all your dice, and then you can just tell me what happens. You don't need to roll ahead of, you can just roll what you're planning on doing right now, and if things change, we'll take it from that. But I would much prefer a more descriptive gaming session than anything else. So what would you like to do is this baleful boar turns to attack you, Magnir. Oh, sorry, Marista, followed by Magnir.
Well, obviously, I don't believe a boar is going to listen to reason, so I immediately reach for my dagger and aim for what I think is probably the most vital part. I've not come across boars before on the high seas, but I have seen, working in the kitchens, I've seen the bodies of them. So
Yes.
I try to go for his jugular, if that's closest to me.
Sorry, you
And-
said testicles, right?
No. Okay, sure. Yes,
Yeah,
I went
'cause
for
I
his
mean, that would be
testicles.
the
Yeah,
most
no,
vulnerable part.
that's
on
exactly
this
what
board.
I did. Yes, I went straight for his balls, and I rolled
That
a
Marista, she's always on the ball. So,
22.
wow, that definitely beats the giant boar's armor class. So what did you do for damage?
And I did 7 points of piercing damage.
Great.
And I went after him with my since I have the two weapon fighting, went with my offhand, another dagger, but I probably missed with a 10.
Yeah, that definitely does miss. It scores off on the flank of this boar and doesn't seem to
You
find
caught me by
purpose.
surprise.
But you did 7 damage and skewered the boar painfully. It yips. Heather, can you do the boar yip that is done by virile young boars that are stabbed in a testicle? See, whoever asks you to do that on a stream, by the way, this might get clipped. What was that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yep, I can picture that. Thank you for your service.
Is anyone near me?
No one is currently next to you because
Okay.
you were dashing off to go and get the spring water from the
Okay.
from the pond.
That's right. That's
Not
right.
the spring
Okay.
water, but the pond water.
So I'll just stand my ground, and I know what the fighting's all about. I was trained as a sailor, so I know to stand my ground and help my fellows.
And have at. Perfect. Magnir, what is your ranger about to do?
Falling back sort of further down the hillock, the actual hillock, from behind my cloak, I pulled my light crossbow and crank it back and fire at the boar's, chest, the throat region, the area as he rears up.
Sure, yeah, and he yips loudly. You can have advantage on that roll. I like that.
I will take it because I did not do very well the first time around. Yeah, that's worse. So I got a 12 to hit.
That is enough to hit.
Oh, wonderful. Then I did, let's see, that is 6 points of piercing damage.
All right, describe where the bolt pierces this boar. You probably didn't hit him in the throat, but where'd you
No,
hit
but instead right in the hollow of the clavicle, right above the
excellent.
collarbone.
A very annoying gnat sting to this giant boar. It is now the boar's turn. The boar turns. Its red eyes splintered tusk looks at Mayresta, and it says, in that classic animal speech, sounds like Pumbaa probably in your mind, but he doesn't actually say anything because it's not a talking boar. And he's like, "You call that a dagger?" And then he stabs you with his splintered boar tusk.
Ouch!
All right, so now I will roll because I didn't get to do that beforehand. What is your armor class?
16.
He hits you with a 17 to hit.
Ouch.
You take 10 slashing damage from this boar's strike.
Ouch!
That's a lot.
Tears into you. How many hit points do you have left?
1.
Welcome to level 1 character.
I know. Bye, guys. Been great knowing you.
And then the boar charges away from you, which of course will give you an attack of opportunity if you would like to take it.
Yeah, I would. Weekly.
Perfect.
No, 11.
That is not enough to hit this boar.
Nope,
So-
I was bleeding out.
Boar dashes away, heading towards the crossbow-wielding jerk who shot him in the place, and to protect his lemon lime grass from being harvested. As we now enter regular combat, so Magner, you get a regular turn at this point. Followed by Mayrista.
It's charging me.
Yes.
I throw my crossbow to the ground and growl as I pull 2 hand axes out and leap at it.
Wow. Okay. Just embrace the charge.
Yeah, exactly. So my main hand
Yes.
axe lodges into the meaty hunk of shoulder,
Yep.
the haunch, which I would cut off if I were hunting this beast. But the momentum swings me a little wildly, and my offhand misses completely.
All right. How much damage did you do with that main hand?
4.
Ah, well, not a sufficient amount to really drive this boar to drink. It is Mayresta's turn. What would you like to do? The boar
Yeah.
is now 30 odd feet away from you.
Okay, so I will move up to it next to. I have 30 feet walking speed, so I run up and stand next to Magnir to try to get an
Well, you're
attack.
behind the boar. Yeah, you're directly behind the boar, right in its butt's right near your face.
Oh,
As Magnir thrashes with it in front of you, and Rosie and Sparkles stand on the hill, still wondering what's going on. Exactly like that.
exactly like that. So I rolled a 14,
Sure. Yeah, they hit.
and because Magnir's there, do I get
Sneak
my
attack?
sneak attack?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I did 7. Hold on a second. 11 points of piercing damage with the sneak attack.
Perfect.
And
The
I only
boar is-
rolled. Go ahead.
The boar is terribly, terribly injured by this, and he kicks at you with his hind hooves.
Uh-oh.
And I have rolled and gotten an 18 to hit. How'd we do?
That hits.
Then definitely, then you take
Mhm.
another 10 damage, 10 bashing damage as it kicks you in the chest, sending you head over heels backwards 10 feet.
I am down. I took that kick to the head, apparently, and I am out.
The boar was attempting to charge Magnir, so I'm going to roll its charge, but it'll have disadvantage from this because it did technically kick at Mayresta to begin with. I've rolled a 17 and a 19. What's your armor class there? Lucky. What's Magnir's armor class?
A very robust 13.
Then you take 17 points of damage as it spears you.
I'm also down.
You're down. Now, are you down on the ground? Are you down in the air being flung somewhere, or are you impaled?
I was impaled as he lifted me up, but then flung me a good 10 feet further down the hill.
Oh, perfect. I am going to add for color then, because I can imagine in my head that as Lucky is thrown backwards, he lands lying right next to Maresta, and they actually look like they're spooning soundly asleep, with Maresta the large spoon and the little dwarf the small spoon, laying there peacefully slumbering, as now it is Sparkle's turn, and Rosie at the exact same time. That works out really well.
Sparkles, you do your action first.
All right, can you attack? Or can you heal?
In character?
No.
Can you heal?
Yeah. I don't know if I can heal all that. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Oh.
Yeah, this might be a really bad idea. You can heal them. I'm going to go hit that so it doesn't come back over here.
Yeah, but if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go hide behind that bush over there. I'll be right. No, I won't be right back. I'm just going to stay over there. Okay, bye.
Wow, and Rosie just books it?
It's not very far. It's only 10 feet away, but it's enough cover that hopefully the pig will forget that she's there.
Oh no, I mean, you're definitely in the pig's area of attack. If you leave, if you're just going to disengage and run away, that's cool. If you want to make a hide check, you can.
Yes. Hide.
All right, you disengage and you go and hide.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. 23.
That the boar doesn't care about you. Who are you? You're nothing. Sparkles, all alone.
You know we're level 1, right?
On the hill.
All right. So Sparkles pulls out her sword, and she's going to rage.
Oh, let's sword. You have advantage on this strike for sure. Bonus action to rage. What does Sparkles do to rage? How does she rage?
I think that her eyes light up.
Oh, cool.
And her fur stands out.
Yep.
Like very cat pissed off hissing at you. And I'm going to charge.
Of course you are. Yes. You charge it. And I picture your character's eyes actually lighting up. So what color do they actually light up?
Let's go with green, because I said that her eyes were green.
You know, the cat's eyes that get light in the darkness, and they absorb all the light and then just reflect it. That is how I'm picturing what happens, and I'm getting chills from it. So go and beat the snot out of this boar.
Okay. Oh wait, I forgot I rolled that already because you told us to.
Yeah.
So that's a 24 to hit.
More than enough. Double, in fact, what you needed.
Okay. Oh, and then I only rolled 1d6. So 2d6. Okay. I rolled 12 on 2d6. So that's going to be 15 points of slashing damage.
How do you kill this boar?
She cuts its effing head off.
Woo!
Wow. Yeah, of course. I mean, why not? Did you cut it straight down, or do you come up and catch it where it had already been cut and hit and nicked up in the throat area?
I think she probably cuts down just because that's easier. You get better leverage. And then also because then she can use it for mounting on a wall for a trophy later.
Yes, either way, you're mounting this head. Terrible, horrible, bad things happen to this boar's body as the insides now are available to the outside. The head rolls down the hill. You have sprayed all of the lemon lime grass with horrible viscera and arterial spray. And I need death saves from Magnir and Mayresta.
I'm coming in just a second, I promise.
19.
That's enough.
2.
2 is a failure. You are 1 step towards the realm of the dead, Magnir.
My ancestors,
Sparkles.
I can see you.
Rosie,
Sparkles.
it's dead. Come out
Is
here
it
and help
dead?
me heal them really quick.
Whew. Okay, good.
All right.
That's great. I'm glad. Wow. Yes, it's very dead. Did you do that?
Maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I mean, my sword's got blood on it, so I guess.
You showed it was boss.
I kind of lost focus for a second there. I get really angry sometimes. Mom said it wasn't good.
I think it's great. You should do that anytime something tries to kill us.
Okay, so
Okay.
Mayresta and Magnir make another death save.
God.
Rosie's going to try to heal Magnir.
Nat 20.
Yeah, natural 20. That's 2 successes in my world. What'd you get, Mayresta?
4.
That's a failure. I'll take it.
It's a failure.
Okay, Sparkles runs over to whichever one's probably Maresta because she was bonding with Maresta
Yes,
earlier.
You
Yeah,
hear
sorry.
Magnir groan, and you realize, oh yeah, the other half of the party. And the 2 of you dash over. What do you do?
I have no healing, so she's getting a potion.
Yeah.
Aw.
I'm going to cast Healing Word.
Okay, you can more than cast a. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, a potion and a healing word.
Yep.
Do you
a
want
Healing
to
Word.
roll for the potion for me, Sparkles?
Sure.
Wait, first you must roll a d4, and if it is a 1,
Oh,
you
yeah.
fed them colored water.
Oh, that would suck. Okay, well, can I keep the 7 I just rolled for if it's
Oh,
not
of
colored
course,
water?
yes, if it is correct. Yeah, that's great. And that's 7 on the 2d4, and then plus 4 is
The
11.
4.
You have rolled a 4. It is, in fact, truly a healing potion. Only 3 remain. So is that 11 hit points?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yay!
And how'd you do
Back
on
to full.
healing word? Rosie?
Okay. So Rosie's going to get down on the ground next to Magnir, and she's going to whip out her flute.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here we go. You ready? Okay.
Soon.
Oh, this part always makes me nervous. Okay. Whew. Okay, so he heals for 8 points of damage.
Wonderful.
Well enough, thank you.
Do you give him a cookie too, or a muffin?
Yeah, well, it's a little petty for actually.
I just gave a lot of blood,
Yeah,
so
they're
I
really
should get a
cute
cookie.
and tiny. And since she's a halfling, they're like particularly tiny.
Halfling size petty. What does it taste
Yes.
like, Lucky?
I don't even know what a pedophore is.
Yeah, me neither. I was hoping you did. So,
So
I'm like,
it's
I'll
a
just
little-
pass
Lemon.
this on.
Lemon
Tiny
tart.
cake that's covered in frosting.
They're so yummy.
Lemon tart.
Yeah, lemon. Yeah, sure.
That's lovely. He almost died. He needs fiber is what he needs. Yes. Well, they're about to go and get a whole bunch of fiber. So you pull out the lemon lime grass the proper and appropriate way, and you whisper sweet nothings.
I'm going over to get the water to clean it like this.
Perfect. You clean the lemon lime grass off, and you've got this virile, perfect boar that's been beheaded and only really been stabbed in the nuts and throat, which are not particularly meaty parts. Magnir, what would you like to do with this boar?
Well, we're running a little behind on time, so I don't want to take much. I'll cut the shoulder, the pork butt, and maybe some ribs, some bacon. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, you can take your time to do that while the other 3 cut the lemon lime grass. What else would you like to do in this beautiful, idyllic, one hill little pasture with a pond?
Be exceptionally aware of our surroundings.
I wanted to look for a copse of oak trees nearby.
Excellent. We'll get to that in just a moment as you finish up here. I picture Rosie standing on the top of the lemon lime grass hillock like a meerkat, looking back and forth quickly, here and forth, looking for any danger could possibly there, ducking out of sight as soon as somebody moves. All right. I won't even require a roll for
armed.
Armed with her spatula. I love it. I already gave you inspiration. I would give it to you again. You cut the lemon lime grass. How much lemon lime grass do you put into the cart?
How big was the basket?
The basket is for the mushrooms.
I'm aware of that. How big is the basket?
The basket seems to be, an Easter basket size.
I'd say twice the amount of mushrooms, so 2 baskets, and then put it into the cart.
Perfect. And of course, do you do anything special when you field dress the boar?
I wasn't really planning on taking meat today, so I didn't bring anything extra. We'll strap that to the seats.
Remember, you do have the
Where am I supposed to
all of
sit?
the extra regular grass that was cut by Maresta when you first entered. So you could probably wrap it in that. It was 4 feet long.
That's right. I think that's a great idea.
What's Bambi doing?
Getting disgruntled.
Okay.
Bambi sees you putting all this grass that Bambi would like to eat, as well as a bunch of meat, which now weighs down the cart and gives you all a disgusted look.
And no tomatoes.
Anybody have any tomatoes on them?
No, I've got some rations, but I don't think that Bambi's gonna want those.
It's okay, I know what to do. And so Rosie goes over to Bambi and fishes in her little apron pockets and pulls out another petit four. Goes, here you go, Bambi.
Maresta rolls her eyes.
Bambi loves cake, not as much as tomatoes, thanks chat, but Bambi eats that up like it's nobody's business. And since
Her
you
little
asked
ears
Lucky,
perk up and she looks so happy.
yes, I love it. Is Bambi an old donkey or a young donkey, Heather?
I think Bambi's sort of a middle-aged donkey, but she looks like she's seen some shit.
she's had a couple of kids,
Mm-hmm.
just waiting to get home and drink a bottle of red.
Hey, if she likes beer, give her some of Magnier's beer. You got any beer on you, Magnier? Maybe she likes beer.
No, I left it all at the kitchens. I dropped it off, got paid. That was it.
Well, that's no good.
The disappointment is writ large on the face of Mayresta. Lucky, you mentioned it earlier. You see a single oak tree to the north amongst the forest. Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes through the forest itself to get there.
How's our timing?
We're not doing well.
I don't know.
I look up at the sky. Can I see where the sun is compared to where we were? As the sailor, I would kind of go to chart the sun and.
After field dressing the boar, only the smaller bits that you collected, you didn't take any of the viscera or the offal or any of the other sides of the meat. You didn't spend a ton of time on it. Let's just say you're about halfway through the day, that you are an hour and a half in, and it does take about an hour to get back.
We're going to have
You
to.
do have a field-dressed boar, which he did not ask after, and may very well be very pleased to see.
Okay, so
just
we
like
have
that.
half an hour to get the spring water and these mushrooms, guys. So
Yes.
let's get
Don't
cracking.
worry.
All right.
The forest is actually the area I know best, so even difficult or gnarled roots won't slow us down.
I like your style, Magnier. Lead on.
That's helpful.
Here we go.
Do you move quietly through the woods, or are you chatting and being friendly and happy and talking?
Are we driving the cart? Or are we leaving
the
it
cart's
here?
there too. No, there's a game trail.
Am I sitting on the boar now to drive the cart?
I think the boar's in the back. I mean, there's
Oh, I thought
more
it
than
was in
enough
the
room
seat.
for this
Okay.
rickety. It does have 4 wheels. There's probably more than enough room.
Okay.
If you want to sit on the boar head while you're driving it, you're more than welcome to.
Nope. I thought I heard him say he put it on the seat. So I'm thinking I'm having to sit way on top of this board.
That was before I realized I could wrap it in
Okay. All
in the
right.
grasses. I just didn't want the blood getting on the freshly washed
Good call.
lime grass, you know.
I'm sorry, I don't pay much attention to chat. There's now over 50 people in there. We're getting a bunch of dings.
Wow,
Thank
that's
you,
awesome.
everyone,
Oh,
for
wow.
coming and
Thank
taking
you.
part in this sub drive. I hope you
Yay.
enjoy the performative element of not much room for options. And stick with us. It's going to get even more exciting and interesting as we delve now into the meat of the story.
And we have a dice giveaway.
Oh, right. You want to do that now? Where people can start entering, or are they already doing that?
They're already
I thought
doing it.
they're
If
all-
you look in chat, there's information. You
in
just have
chat
to
know
enter the
what they're
right
doing.
thing. We have good moderators.
Woohoo.
The best of moderators. Moving forward, as you enter this forest, it's a mystical sort of forest. There's an arcane element to it that I can't really describe, so I'll let the four of you do so.
There's a bit of a purple, kind of a glow to the
Ooh.
to the roots and the undergrowth.
I love it. Lucky, what else is going on in this mystical forest?
Almost out of the corner of your eye, but if you turn, you don't catch it. But it seems almost as if the trees are shifting here and there.
Yes. Kim.
In the trees, there's a Spanish moss-like air plant that's hanging kind of in a spooky way in the trees. It sort of sways in the breeze.
Cool. And Heather. And also chat, too. If you want to add something, I'll take the first one.
Yep. I'm okay with either option.
No, you as well
both?
as chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the canopy is so thick that the
Ooh.
branches connect up at the top and you almost can't see the sky. There's just little trickles of light here and there, but mostly it's just dark. Except for the
Lovely.
glow from the
Sun dappled. I love it. Yes. And I didn't see anything come in from chat yet. Oh, millions of bees and a bird screaming?
Can we go with the
Oh,
bird?
thanks, Chad.
Chad!
That's
Chad.
not so mystical, but I do like the concept that the bees are all taking root in this moss that's flowering at this time. So there's this incessant buzzing that's going on. And off to the south, you can actually hear the screaming and crying of birds that are going after the remains of the boar now that you've left it behind. There is only one oak tree in this entire forest that you can see. When you stood on a little lemon limegrass hill, you could only see the one tall oak tree towering in the distance. And as you make your way towards it, you see that the oak tree is riddled with age-old slashes and gouges, where it looks like mushrooms have once taken root. But there are just nubs of them there, though. Nothing like you'd imagine you would find.
I immediately become suspicious and want to go stealth. My nature is just to just disappear.
Okay, you push the stealth button and your character goes and fades from view. But you're driving the cart, so everyone still knows where you are.
I thought we stopped.
Yes. Well, okay, so you hop down from the cart and
Yeah,
scream
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Perfect. What does everybody else do?
How
So,
big? I'm sorry.
Rosie. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Rosie is walking around with her spoon, staring into the, just waiting for something to jump out at them.
All right, perfect. What
How
are you
big?
up to, Sparkles?
I'm a little gun shy now.
Well, yeah, Lucky had something.
I was just wondering how big around. Is this giant ancient oak?
Oh, it's big. Yes.
Massive.
Yeah, it's a large creature. It's 10 by 10.
Then
Creature?
Huge, sweeping branches.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
heard
to
that
tell
too.
you, it's still an oak tree. If you
Yeah.
wish to fight it, its armor class is like 18 just because of hardness.
Oh, similar to the gazebo. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a gazebo.
with my crossbow drawn, I'm gonna do the perimeter of the oak, also while checking Maybe they missed the mushrooms. Maybe there's a few left. I'm going to be looking for that.
Sure, make a perception check, and I'll tell you right away, no mushrooms on the tree. But make a perception check as you do a perimeter search. And Heather, what is Sparkles up to?
Sparkles is going to go over to the tree and start climbing it.
Okay.
Since Tabaxi have a climb speed, so that she can try to look around and get a better vantage point on what's happening and see if we can find anything.
Okay. Then, as you approach the tree to climb it, there is a rush of rustling leaves and movement as a figure drops from the tree in front of you. And allow me to get into character.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
It is a dryad wearing leafy armor and wielding a sharpened stave. And she speaks in the dryad language, which you can immediately tell, stay the back from my fucking tree, you lousy cat.
I just wanted to go up so I could see the forest better. Jeez.
This isn't the character doing this. This is just Kyle making sure the wigs.
Okay.
Just threw a wig on. Okay.
By the way, that perception was a 19.
You see this all happen, but of course, before you can respond to do anything, I mean, you see the dryad up there. You see the dryad nimbly land in front of you. You can see the dryad is feeling extremely hostile towards Sparkles. Sparkles, it sounds like you're trying to make a diplomacy check. Is that what that sounded like to me? Or are you just trying to diffuse tension? What is it you'd like to do and accomplish?
More diffused tension. The boar was one thing. This is a sentient creature. She's like, I don't really want to hit it if I don't have to.
She speaks in the dryad language. Does anyone speak dryad? I really don't like everyone saying no to me. So someone
Does
must be
Elvish
able to
work?
speak. Well, Elvish would give you a certain amount. Does Magnir speak Elvish?
Oddly enough, yes.
I
Rosie
love it.
does too.
Oh, yes, that's great.
And
Rosie
actually,
and
so does
Magnir
Sparkles.
and Maresta. What does Sparkle speak?
Sparkles speaks Elvish and Halfling.
You all speak Elvish?
I do, yeah. And
Of course.
Aquan, but I don't know if that matters for a dryad.
There's
I
probably
just don't think there's enough bubbles in Dryadic language for it to come across.
Right.
there's
So
probably
let's-
a lot of elven professors at this magic school that we've been working at. This magic academy. We've probably picked up a smattering here and there.
Perfect. You all speak Elven, which I'm going to say is close enough for the purposes of this story for your little level 1's characters to interact with a dryad who speaks Elven in halting words, oftentimes confusing one, verb tense with another.
It's like a southern dialect.
Or a northern Minnesotan
Sure.
dialect. Who knows?
Sure.
Let's just go with a dialect. And the dryad says in Dryadic language, thank you. Sorry, my daughter just brought me something with my name on it and asked me to drink it. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out later. On stream! I hope it's not raw eggs again. With that, my children are diabolical. I will leave it at that. Back to the game and the immersive setting we are. We're underneath this canopy. You can hear the bees in the background. The dryad has landed in front of the tabaxi, wielding a stick. Speaking in halting Elven, the dryad says, "Get the back away from my tree, you lousy kitty cat. I don't want any of that. Claw my tree up."
I wasn't going to use it for a scratching post. I just wanted to go up.
What right do you have to enter my home? Go in my tree. You might pee in it.
I'm not a house cat or an alley cat. I'm a tabaxi. It's not the same.
I don't know these things. Your kind does not enter my home and my place often.
Your kind doesn't exist inside my houses, so how was I supposed to know it was your fucking tree?
This is fair point. You no climb my tree. I'm no angry with you.
Okay, I guess I'll find a vantage point somewhere else. Is one of these trees not your tree so I can climb that one?
Why use you climbing trees?
Because we're looking for mushrooms, and I was trying to get a better look around the forest.
I see. What, mushrooms? Why do you look for mushrooms?
Because someone asked us to.
Ask you why?
I don't know. I wasn't listening to him. He's really loud.
Who are you? She looks at Anne. She looks at your character, Mayresta. What color is Mayresta?
She's very, very pale skinned, and she's got a long blue hair.
Like, what color? Like pale white, pale
Bluish pale, like the sea, like just someone who hasn't seen a lot of sunlight.
She says,
Piercing blue eyes.
"You are strange colored elf. What you do here, strange colored elf? Why you no keep pet at bay?"
Pet? What pet? That's not my pet. She's my friend. She's not my pet.
I call pet squirrels friend too. I do that.
Look, we just want to pick some mushrooms to take back to the boss. He wants us to collect mushrooms. Is that not something you let us do here? Do you have a problem with mushrooms?
Can make an insight check.
$15.
11.
13.
Who beat a 15?
I hit a 15.
Then you beat it. Good job. You met the DC. Rosie, you're the only one that seems to tell that when mushrooms keep getting mentioned, you can tell sadness crosses the face of this dryad. That something about these mushrooms is making this dryad extremely sad. Everybody else seems to just recognize that the dryad is indignant about the talk of mushrooms for one reason or another.
So Rosie would poke her head out from behind the cart.
Little one.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Why do you look so sad?
Oh, mushrooms make trees so ugly. Ever since horrible person came to chop down my tree, mushrooms grew and grew all the time. I'm so sad.
That is really sad.
Oh,
Is there anything we can do to help?
I don't know how you fix the tree to not grow the mushrooms anymore or make the horrible people come and take them, except for that one who came and took the mushrooms.
Who came and took the mushrooms?
I don't know his name. Names mean what? It is not the wind. It is not the leaves upon the branches.
Was he a
It is
very,
not the
very
sun
heavy
passing
set
overhead.
man
Oh,
with a mustache?
heavy set? What does this mean, heavy set?
I turn to Rosie and say, I got.
Did he have
It
a
means
feather in
round.
his hat? With a feather? Like a bird?
Yes, a feather in his hat. I miss him. Where did he go? Now, somebody's also carrying the basket, the shrooming basket. Who happens to have the shrooming basket?
I have it.
Perfect. You may roll an insight check when she espies the basket with advantage. Everyone else just may make a regular check.
Nat 20.
22.
Oh, what? In my kids' game of Tavern Tales Jr., anytime, which is a podcast that comes out every other week, anytime somebody rolls a natural 20, they all lean back from their microphones and yell the Lord Zone because they're Knights of the Lord Zone. So I would like to establish something similar for this game tonight. If somebody rolls a nat 20, what is the cheer that we should all say together? I will accept 3 choices, one of which from chat. What is my first option, Heather?
Tip your kitchen staff.
I love it. Does somebody else have a second option?
Ooh woo!
Ooh woo?
We need a raise.
We need a raise. And Shrooby-Doo is the
Shrooby-Doo?
third choice.
Oh, man.
Shrooby-Doo. I
Thanks, Andrew.
really like tip your kitchen staff though, so that's the one I'm gonna go with. Although Bada Bing is great, praise to the onions, the cat's pajamas. You all have done wonderful jobs with our cheers, but instead it will be tip your kitchen staff from here on out if somebody rolls a nat 20. So, because Lucky has rolled a nat 20, we all need to say...
Tip
your
your
kitchen
kitchen
staff.
staff.
We'll work on that. So we'll workshop that. With a nat 20, immediately Lucky, and anybody who beat a 12, you know that she recognizes this yellow ribbon, that this mustard-colored ribbon has meaning to this dryad. Where you get such basket?
We were just told to collect the mushrooms in the basket. It was just handed to us as a container.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
the big boss
there-
gave it to us.
there are no mushrooms here. My tree is better now. No mushrooms.
The
Is there anywhere else we can get mushrooms?
I maybe other trees have unsightly mushrooms growing on them, but not mine. Mine is good. Mine is nice and better tree now. She
It
pats
is
her tree lovingly.
beautiful.
Thank you.
This seems to be the only oak tree in the nearby area, though. Are there
It
mushrooms
is.
that grow
I
on
am
other
all
trees?
alone. I don't know of other mushrooms, no.
Do you know what happened to the mushrooms that were on your tree?
Nope, I don't know what happened to the mushrooms that grew on my tree. You don't need to roll to know she's lying. Because she's a dryad and not good at that.
I think that maybe the basket we got from our boss, a deplorable, loud man, but he did mention an old friend of his, the one with the feather in his hat.
Mhm.
His name was Tulu or something. I don't know.
2 Talors.
No, thanks, Rosie. That's it. Yeah.
Do you have
sounds
interesting
right.
names like that? What are your
Yes.
names?
Lots of interesting names. Mine's Rosie. It's short for
Oh.
Rosemary.
Okay.
I
Like the herb. I know
Yes.
many rosemaries. They are very bitter.
Sometimes.
You mean to the... Never mind.
Just in general, their emotional state.
Oh.
And you are?
I'm Maresta.
I'm Sparkles.
Mhm.
She sparkles.
Yeah, Magner. It's short for Magner.
Is Magnier's hair long or short?
Short for Magnier.
That was adorable.
Right, the talk button. It's about shoulder length, and unlike most dwarves, he actually just kind of lets it loose. He's doesn't braid or anything like that.
He's like a Thorin Oakenshield, just lets it flow in the wind.
Yeah, sort of. He's actually kind of. He doesn't look anything like your stereotypical dwarf. He doesn't have a full beard. His chin is shaved, so he just has big chops and a mustache.
Well, she reaches out and runs a hand through your long hair, and it makes that dry, raspy sound that, unkempt hair would make. And she says, I have so much trouble saying these strange formed names.
Well, what is your name?
I am Vita Flavo. And it sounds like the rustling of a tree branch as the oak tree corresponds. And there's a chiming sound, much like that, wherever that came from.
That's the follow sound, I think.
Yes, much like the follow sound.
Thanks, Raynick.
So yes, and she reaches and runs her hand through your hair, Magnar.
That's uncomfortable. I'm married, lady.
I don't know. What is this married?
Guys, times we have half an hour
Yeah.
to find these mushrooms. So, sorry, Russell Leaf Lady. We really need to find
Vita
some
Flavo.
Vita Flava. We need to find some mushrooms. So I understand that your tree is free of them. That's awesome for you. But we really need to get to another tree or clearing or, you know what?
Won't you stay? I'm so lonely. No
Why
one
don't
comes to my tree
you
to
had
talk
mushrooms?
anymore.
If you had mushrooms, we could maybe trade you for them for something. And
We could trade you this
Like
ribbon.
what?
This
ribbon.
beautiful
The ribbon.
buttercup colored ribbon that belonged to your friend.
I don't know, Rosie. That ribbon really means a lot to other people, and maybe we don't want to give that up.
She looks at the ribbon confusedly, like it's supposed to mean something. She can't recognize what it means, and she says, "But you just stay and talk for a short time, 1 or 2 years, and I could find mushrooms. Maybe there are mushrooms
Yeah,
here."
we only have like an hour.
Yes,
so-
that.
Or like 20 minutes at this.
But to where we need to be.
Mhm.
And I don't think that'll work. But if you could, maybe we could find a way to make it so your tree would be mushroom proof forever. There's lots of people that know how to do magic-y stuff like that. Maybe, maybe we could trade. If you could tell us where the mushrooms really went, then we could find somebody who could fix your tree like forever.
This sounds like we finally reached a persuasion check. And because I like the way you've gone with it, you may roll with advantage.
Woohoo! All right, so 22.
She's like, "And you'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk about how to fix the tree." And you're like, "Mm-hmm." And she's
Yeah.
She reveals
Of course.
at the other side of the tree a trap door that she's created in a pile of dead leaves where all of these bearded mushrooms are stored, and they're all protected and kept, in this underground sort of area, so they're still fresh and in good shape. And she's tried to remove every single bit of them from her oak tree, so there's tons of them there, enough to fill your basket and then some.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll be back.
Lovely. And hey, everybody, be super careful to not let any of the mushroom spores get anywhere near the tree so that they don't reinfest
Right.
the beautiful tree. Back away slowly.
Right.
You were
That's
staying
what I
talk
do.
for an hour, yes?
Well, see, we'll do that on another day. Today we're in a big hurry.
You said time. Sometime.
Yes, but we're in a big hurry to get back
time
to
is
where
it?
we're from so that we can find the persons that can fix your tree forever. We're in a
Oh.
big hurry to do that.
I understand, but you promised time. So how about you stay and you chat with the Dryad for 10 minutes? And that's not really necessary role playing to see on screen. So we're going to take a quick break for 10 minutes. And when we come back, we'll move on with the next part, the final chapter of Not Mushroom for Options.
Sounds good.
All right, see
Sounds
you soon.
great. Stay with us. The best is yet to come. And we're back. And as a result of being back, let me once again turn it over to the wonderful, inexhaustibly talkative Heather, who will tell you all about the glorious things that are happening at Nerdsmith and why you should subscribe today.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I might as well pass it off to Sparkle. So, you guys, you really need to go check out World Anvil. It's the most amazing website. There's like a million different things you can do for your world building, and you can do all this awesome stuff if you're writing a book too. Like you can link different characters, and you can have a map going, and all of this crazy stuff. It's really awesome. You should go check it out. It's worldanvil.com, and they're amazing, and you can sign up for free. You don't even have to pay. And then if you like some of the special features, you can pay more, and they're really awesome people. Demetrius and Janet are awesome. And that voice is getting annoying, so I'm going to switch back. But I'm annoying myself, so I'm switching back.
I was enjoying it.
Okay. The other wonderful sponsor we have here at Nerdsmith is Die Hard Dice. You can find them at dieharddice.com. You've seen some of the info going past in the chat about the giveaway we're doing. Speaking of which, 4 more people have to sign up to do the giveaway with the code !Nifty50. Nifty is NIFTY, and 50 is just to the numbers. So Nifty50 to sign up, and you could win a set of Die Hard dice. I don't remember which color. I think it's the amethyst and gold.
It is the prettiest color.
It honestly doesn't really matter. They're all gorgeous. They're beautiful metal dice. And I will say too, I have one of the sets. I think this actually might be the set we're giving away. They're really, really pretty. And the D4 doesn't have sharp points. So even though it's metal, if you step on it, it's not going to kill you. It's awesome.
How do you lure your enemies into a trap with rounded caltrops?
Well, you don't
Seriously.
use those ones as the damage.
I guess
They're
that
not the
makes sense.
trap. They're what draws them in. That's how you do it. Because they're so
The
pretty.
temptation.
Yes, so that's dieharddice.com. We don't have a coupon code for this show since we're doing a bunch of different ones for the sub drive. But if you listen to any of the podcasts or check out any of the streaming shows on Nerdsmith, the majority of them, I think possibly all of them now, have a coupon code where you can get 15% off your first or next purchase from dieharddice.com. So definitely recommend you check them out. They're gorgeous dice, and they're really nice people too.
And you know, some people are just tuning in and they didn't catch us at the beginning. So one of the things I like to do is just spin it around and let everybody know who's at the table today and something cool about you that you'd like to share with them to maybe have them come your way and check out some of the things that you do. We'll start with Lucky.
I'm Lucky Maloney. That's the infamous eel on Twitter. I'm currently working on putting out a podcast, the Forlorn Hope podcast. Personally, I've been playing for 30 years now. I started at 10 years old with Metzger's 83 Red Box, and I promptly grabbed my brother and made him roll a cleric and have been playing and DMing ever since.
That's awesome. And Anne.
I am currently running 3 Sheets One Shot on Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock on my Twitch channel, Curious Crafts. And we're working on a story called Aboard the Diamond's Light, which is introducing homebrew. It's introducing steampunk mechanisms to the game. And it's been exciting having an interactive writing stream where anyone in the chat room can contribute to the story. You just write the story out, and it's been fun. So that's what we're doing Friday night.
Awesome. And Kim.
Hi. I am on Twitter as Is It Wine 30 Yet? Which it always is, of course, because I have 4 kids. Yeah, and I'm also a kindergarten teacher's assistant. There are many children in my life, thus the wine. I also play Flossie on the Chaotic Goodness podcast.
That's awesome. And last but not least, Heather.
Hello again. So I'm Heather. I'm one of the directors here at Nerdsmith. I'm on a bunch of stuff here at Nerdsmith. My own personal podcast is called Geek Thyself, where I go into different topics every week and kind of do the research for you so that you don't have to if you want like learning about stuff. We've also got some amazing, actually, I can't talk, amazing actual plays like Shenanigans here on Twitch on Tuesdays. We're going to close out the sub drive at the end of the month. And yeah, I mean, fun thing, I guess I've been working at a cat-only veterinary hospital for the last 13 years. I'm one of the resident cat ladies of the Nerdsmith collective of people who are all awesome.
Perfect. And you're playing 4 wonderful and delightful characters who are just finishing a conversation with a beautiful, shy, sexy, distant dryad. And because you were so willing to relent to an additional 10 minutes so that we could take a break, I'll also give you a clue that the dryad tells you where to find your crystal spring water, since none of you knew where that was or had any idea where it might be in this moss-filled, canopy-heavy, sunlight-dimmed, bee-filled, bird-screeching, magical forest. I think I only missed the purple underglow, glow of the underbrush and the trees that move just outside of your vision.
Mm-hmm.
That lies to the east. Not more than a 10-minute walk.
So we have 10 minutes to get there. Less than 10 if we're going to collect the spring water. And we don't even know how much we need. And then it takes an hour to get back.
Well, we have that little flask. We just need to fill it.
Fill it.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there's underbrush thick and enduring in here, and it doesn't look like you'll be able to bring the cart any further.
But our movement is not slowed because of our handy ranger.
Right, except the cart.
But that's fine. We don't need the cart. We're just getting a flask full of water. Let's go.
Should we leave guard?
Who's going to steal mushrooms and grass?
And it's right with the dryad.
Oh, well, we can ask the dryad. Perhaps she wouldn't mind.
She acquiesces. There we are. You move forward, and you go through this thick underbrush. And as you move forward, a somberness falls upon the forest. The birds don't chirp. There is more of a sound of insects in the woods. And there is an immediate ambiance of sorrow and sadness as you hear what normally is a happy sounding brook. You hear a sad brook. I don't know what that normally sounds like, but I can picture it in my head. And you approach a shaded spring fed by a trickling waterfall along a rocky cliff face. What signs immediately provoke that sadness when you look upon the spring? I'll ask chat first, and while they type their answers and I pick one, I'll also ask all of you, what is it about this secluded area that provokes that immediate sense of sadness and sorrow that you can see and feel?
There's...
Let's go with Anne first, because everybody wants to jump in on this one.
There's a slight mist that kind of hangs in the air. Feels a little uncomfortable. A little stickiness.
Yes, I like that. There's a mist that hangs and obscures the vision slightly. Kim, what did you have?
This little body of water is surrounded by weeping willow trees.
Oh, yes, absolutely. There's a weeping willow. Its branches dipping into the water sorrowfully. Heather, did you have one?
I was going to say there's no animals near it at all. Like normally a brook or a pond or something would have like fish or bugs or frogs or something, and there's just nothing.
Nothing. Yep. Perfect. And Lucky?
Most brooks babble, most people say, as a descriptor. This sounds almost like subdued sobbing.
Yes. Subdued sobbing. That is the imagery I was going for initially as well. Above on the top of the cliff where the waterfall is gushing. There is a shrine to a dead forest spirit. I don't know how you know that it's a dead forest spirit, or that you can just see a promontory and there seems to be something that was erected there, and it has fallen and it is collapsed and dilapidated in time. There is a little bit of dead underbrush underneath the willow tree that just sparks that, the gloom. Even though it is the height of summer, there is this the dead dying bushes underneath, and everything seems to be a bluish tinge as well as what we got from chat. And I will add one last thing. The brook itself, where the waterfall falls, is a crystal clear spring, and there is at the bottom of this 12-foot deep pool, or thereabout, because distances are disarming, except for to Marista, who immediately knows just how deep it is because she's a sea elf. There is a stain or a red iron rust like coloration on a large rock that stands at the bottom of this pool. So if you can picture it, it's clear, glassy surface, crystal clear vision through to the depths. You can see everything on the bottom, and this standing rock down there has what appears to be a stain upon it, or maybe it's just a discoloration in the rock. You also hear, or you see, the willow branches slowly sway of their own volition, even though there is no wind, and make a perception check.
18.
12.
Still reasonable.
Natural 1.
Nat 1.
Eek.
Can I use
Did not get the
inspiration?
tip. Yes, fine, sure. Use your inspiration. Normally I say use it beforehand, but hey, there's only an hour left. Use it now.
Sorry. Okay.
On a perception check, by all means.
Well, 15.
Thank you for using your inspiration check on something so trivial as this when somebody else already rolled an 18. You may have inspiration back.
Oh, thank you.
And Kim, what'd you get? Because you had a really good look on your face that said that number's fun.
Yeah, it's a 6.
A 6. So, Kim, your character does not notice, but everyone else does. You know how you can see the trotting of footprints, like somebody stepping on grass or moss? You see footsteps cross from underneath the tree, stepping on this moss, and then wet steps along the rocky promontory that leads up to this spring, because there's some rocks and a loose scree. Wet footsteps, and then nothing, as it seems like the steps go into the pool itself. You're the only one who doesn't see that.
So like we see the grass getting depressed, like someone's
Yes.
stepping on it, but there's nothing there.
Exactly. An invisible creature or something, or just tiny little ants all depressing the grass at the same time. Who knows? Pulling the grass down at the same time.
Completely reasonable.
Yes.
That would almost be more terrifying because that's a shit ton of ants.
That's a lot of ants.
That's true.
Did you guys see that?
That was weird.
See what?
Yeah.
Maybe we should be quiet. Oh, okay.
But how are we supposed to get the water?
Well, I just don't want to piss anybody off. We
We already did that.
Well, another one.
You should, Maresta, you should go get the water.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
All right, fine. I'm comfortable with water. I sneak up to the water.
Wait. Normally the flask was left in the wagon. You did remember to bring the flask,
Of
right?
course, we remember to bring the flask. I have it right here, and I show it
Oh,
to
okay.
everybody.
Property of Zoot, written on the
Right.
little dangling leather thong.
Right.
You
So
start
I-
to step towards the rocks and uncap the lid of the flask. You lean
Quietly.
down to, oh yes, ever so, no one can hear you. Literally, there's silence. You fade into the mists. But as you step forward to do so, a ghostly spectral figure rushes out from on top of the water, or comes up underneath it. That's even cooler. Comes up from underneath the water, and they're wearing this hat. And they say, "Back!"
Oh, hi. Are you a sailor? Because I'm a sailor too, and I think we can make it an arrangement here. I just
Leave.
Wait, it's the dude with the hat.
Oh,
Is
do
it-
I see a feather in his head?
Yep, there seems to be a feather. Where's it?
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Leave. This is even a better way to wear it. Leave.
We kind of need to get some water, so we don't really want to leave. But hi, you do you know Zoot? And I rush back to the other fellows.
The ghost does not look to be as angry or antagonistic now that you've moved back from trying to take the spring water.
So I'm back, and I tell Sparkles and Rosie and Magnir, hey, there's a ghost. Something. I don't know. There's something that's keeping me from getting the water. He won't let me have the water. I want to fill the water.
To be fair, all of you have seen the ghost.
Oh.
Ooh,
See? I told you.
that's
It's right there.
scary.
So how are we gonna get it then?
I tried bargaining with him, but he just said, "Leave."
But
That's
that
how I said that.
looks a lot like how that.
Yeah, did you notice the feather?
lady with the green hip, right? With the feather. Maybe we can like hook them up or something.
Oh, they can
Maybe-
talk.
Yeah.
You have someone to
Yeah.
talk to, and all right. I'm not good at the whole bargaining thing. Who's good at bargaining? Because I'm not going back there. I've already bit the dirt once.
Real quick, everyone. No one thinks it's strange that our boss said that this guy went off to war, but his ghost is here in a pool.
Maybe he got lost on the way to war.
You make a good point.
I think Magnir's got a point here. It's a little shady.
Yeah, I mean, I've never liked the guy anyway, so it's easy for me to think that maybe he did his friend wrong.
Well, you worked there for the most time of all of us. You've been there forever. What else can you tell us about this boss of ours? And you're lucky.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Well, he never does any work. He just stays in that back office and tastes everything, as we know.
Eats all the profit, sounds like.
Well, sure. I mean, I don't know how much profits at a cafeteria for a school, but yeah, more or less.
I don't know. I've seen some people tip him because they want like special things. Maybe that's what we're doing here.
You think we're collecting stuff that he needs to do something special?
Maybe. I've had
Like
some
a
weird orders going up with room service a few times.
I don't know. I kind of just hang out in the kitchens and look for stuff to do.
I don't know. That tracks.
Yeah, should we talk to that? Is he okay?
Well, he's a ghost. I'm thinking probably not. I don't know.
Can
Well, but I mean, relatively speaking, he still
Yeah.
looks bad.
Maybe we should go talk to him about the,
ask him about his hat?
Mm-hmm.
Zoontalor. We should go ask him about
Yeah,
Zoontalor.
Yeah, and not me.
I mean, not me either.
No. Mm-mm.
Uh,
Rosie, you're a cleric. You go up there. You're good at that the dead stuff. You go talk to him.
You're the best talker, Rosie.
Yeah.
I'll go.
that's for sure.
I'll do
Uh,
it.
Wait,
me-
we're right behind you. We got your back.
Yeah, way behind me.
No, I'm moderately behind
Okay.
you.
Okay, I'm going.
Uh,
Wait,
and
Give me the
meanwhile,
basket.
You
yeah,
mean
the flask?
jug?
Well, the basket with the mushrooms and all this stuff
Oh.
in it that has the ribbon, you know?
Well, maybe just take the ribbon and don't give away our mushrooms. We had to work hard for those mushrooms.
True.
Besides,
Okay,
all the
let me
grass is
start with
back
the
in
ribbon. Let's start from there. Okay. All right,
Uh,
I'm going.
You got this.
So she
All
kind
right.
of slowly moves sort of sideways, sort of like scooting towards the edge of the water.
I'm like 10
And then
feet
as
behind
soon
her.
as-
I'm not walking to the water. I'm walking. No, I'm not walking to the water.
Just kind of like waiting until the ghost just sort of looks at her, and then
He
she'll sort
doesn't
of
seem
stop.
to look at you at all until such time as you are close to the pool, and then his eyes dart to you, and rage fills his face, and he says in his spectral voice, "Leave me to my sorrow."
Oh, you know
And
what? Is your name Chutalors?
I lost my name years ago.
But that was your name?
Eh?
Okay, so maybe you just didn't like it very much.
I don't remember. Leave.
I nudge her. I said,
Well-
mention Zoodle. Mention the Zoo guy.
But
Zootolor.
Zoot sent us.
He doesn't seem to respond to that, but you have the yellow mustard ribbon in your hands, and his eyes finally light upon it, and you can see a yellow light of recognition bloom in this ghost's face as tears pour freely down his almost translucent face, leaving those wet streams as he looks at you and says, "A yellow ribbon?
Yes.
What is a yellow? It's important."
It is important, and we want you to be happy. You look so sad.
She was gone. She took another. The ribbon was gone.
But it's here now.
But it's not where it was.
Oh, where was it?
My love. My forever. She left my heart when I left her. And in his ghostly spectral way, because you're proffering the yellow ribbon, which blows my mind, but wonderful, he breaks down and reveals that he went off to war to fight for the kingdom, but he had fallen in love with a dryad, and the dryad loved him back, with inasmuch as an eternal being like a dryad could, in an understanding. They were married beneath the oak tree, and he came to her whenever he could. And when he went to war, he said, "You may forget me, and you may choose to let me go, but tie this yellow ribbon round your oak tree, and you will always remember me." And
That's
he came
stuck in
back,
my head.
and the yellow ribbon, you're very welcome. I'm so happy that you caught along.
Oh my gosh.
The ribbon was gone and not upon the tree any longer. And when he saw that the ribbon was taken down, he was so despondent that he came up to this promontory and threw himself off of it.
Well, if
I
we returned the ribbon,
I think we
Just want
figured
some
out a way to
water.
fix the tree.
oh,
And get our water.
So, you, Maresta, you work
Yes.
on getting the water. I'm gonna go run back. No, you know what? Sparkles, you'll be faster. Or maybe Magnir. I think
What are
Magnir will
you
be
telling-
faster.
What are you
Nah.
telling
To run back to the
Tuvalu
tree
to do?
and tie it around the tree.
Short
it's
legs.
a big tree. It's a ribbon that
Why tie the ribbon? She'd forgotten all about him and didn't care about him, right? That's what he's so sad about.
But she didn't because she told us that she didn't. Remember, she was going on and on and on about how she was looking for him.
And maybe the yellow ribbon kept the mushrooms from growing on the tree, and that would help her.
Oh, maybe. I mean, she's linked to the tree, right? That's how dryads work.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to climb up to the shrine.
Sure, yeah. While that's happening, you can definitely climb over up the waterfall to the shrine. He's engaged and otherwise in conversation.
While he's conversing with the other two, can I just dip the...
No. If you attempt to take the water, he will attack. Yes. However, you do realize that if the dryad accepts the yellow ribbon around the tree and has chosen and actually does remember Tutaloo, and it was all a bad misunderstanding, you may grant this ghost peace.
I can move pretty quick. I can try to head back.
Good plan.
Here, take the ribbon, Sparkles.
Okay. Oh,
Magda,
right.
maybe you should go with her.
Yeah, don't split the party.
Well,
You're all there. What do you tell Tutaloo?
We're fixing it.
What do you fix?
We will get your dryad back.
We found your dryad, and she misses you.
She misses, yeah. What she said.
She does?
Yes.
Yeah.
She told us.
Green hair, kind of shifted on her head when it was itchy. It was great.
No.
Yeah. She remembered
the
you.
ribbon was gone. You were lying to me. There's no. And he starts to fade again, and you may make a persuasion check at this point to persuade him that no, in fact, it is the truth. And if you would like to give me the spiel before you roll, I'll let you roll with advantage.
Me?
I think it was Kim that was doing it. Rosie's character.
Your dryad lives in a tree very close to here, not even a mile away. And we were just there, and she was so sad. And she was telling us all about how she missed her person who had a feather in his hat and would come to the tree for mushrooms, and they were in love. And who else could that be but you?
And you pledge to return the yellow ribbon and tie it upon the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And he fades from view. The sorrow upon this spring has lifted. The sun breaks through the mist. That blue is now suffused with that Nerdsmith orange to show the change in tone and texture, like an SVU TV show. Magnir is standing on the top of the promontory by the spirit shrine, looking like the dwarven god he is as the sunlight breaks through and his shadow is cast upon the pool. And the ghost leaves the area, and but the stain upon that rock at the bottom remains.
Vial or the thing, and I tried
Absolutely. It. Yep.
And I don't go anywhere near the stain at the bottom.
Oh, do you the stain's like 12 feet down. Are you diving into the pool, or are you just...
No, I'm just on the very edge.
Okay.
I love the water, but that stain freaks me out a lot.
Cool. Well, it's freaking you out, so you're probably paying close attention to it. Make an investigation check. The rest of you, if you're taking a look now that you've freed up and lightened the area and the mood a lot, what happened?
We should tip our kitchen staff!
Oh, you got a natural 20? Let's all do it together.
We should tip our kitchen. Oh, shit.
Let's do it together. Don't forget. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to tip
kitchen
staff.
Well, that will work on that one.
What they say.
It's hard on stream because of delays.
The micro delays. That natural 20, you don't want to look at it, but you know that something lies beneath it, that the body of Tutaloo has fallen into this pool, and the stain perhaps is some sort of mystic signifier. As you are watching the stain, it slowly fades away as the ghost's presence is removed, but you see something golden glint below the rock. You two as well, Magnir, standing on top of the cliff, see something golden glinting.
It's like you read my mind. Luckily, I don't care for wealth, so I'm actually just going to investigate the shrine.
Cool. You investigate the shrine. Who is anybody going to investigate this
I
glint
am,
of
because
gold in the
my
pool?
my
No, it's in the
backstory.
water.
My backstory shows that she just kind of goes without regard for her own safety.
You may have an inspiration if you don't have it already as you
I do.
dive
You
head-
gave it back to
Describe for me the diving headlong into the pool.
it's more like a, instead of just diving in, she sort of just like becomes one with the water. Like she just kind of
Like in
softly,
shape of water. Yeah, okay, I remember.
She softly just
cool.
becomes part of it and like rolls down toward it. Her hair kind of makes it look like it's a whirlpool, and gets to the bottom and just kind of swishes around very softly, keep it very still, like undisturbed.
There's a bag. Can you describe the bag for me that's at the bottom of this? It's not a very big one.
It's moldy. It's definitely old. Has a very old rope tie around it. Not even leather, just like old rope, but it's very frayed and very old. And the leather has a thick coat of not really moss, but just sort of a fungus, like a slick bit around it. But there must have been some sort of leak in it, or a tear, or some sort of part that broke open, and that's where the of color that I saw.
Yes, perfect. That is what you see. Twitch chat, can you describe for me what is investigated by Lucky at the top as I tell Anne what her character finds when this bag, this moldy, disgusting bag, falls away as it reveals a golden case that has etched on the front of it a deck of cards in chiseled onyx, and the thing is about the size of a deck of playing cards, and there is an admonishment upon the back of this deck that reveals it to be a deck of many things that your character has revealed underneath this rock at the bottom. And
Uh-oh.
chat has revealed to you, Lucky, you found some withered flowers.
Thanks, chat.
Yeah, Magnir sees withered flowers at the top of this shrine. What a lovely capture that was.
I will do my best to adjust the shrine, even though there's not much there. It's back to its original state.
You may have bless cast upon you by a nature spirit for the next hour. With your pledge in hand, your water gained. What do you do next?
To the surface.
Yep.
Hey guys, check it out.
Well, the bag is gone, but the box remains.
Cool.
I've never seen one of these before. It looks like just a deck of playing cards. Do we want to play some poker later when we get back to the school?
Maybe when we get back, but
history,
we should
Arcana
hurry.
check, anything like that, maybe?
We gotta go though because we're running out of time.
You head back through the underbrush. Does Magnir jump off the cliff into the water, or does he just climb back down?
I briefly considered it. It looks refreshing, but no, I will climb back down.
He doesn't want to get his ranger boots wet. That makes 100% sure to me, or words there that have failed me. You climb back down. The four of you have reassembled, and you truck back towards the Dryad's oak tree. You arrive.
Tie the yellow ribbon around it
Mhm.
on the old oak tree.
The Dryad cajoles you to stay, and when you tie the yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, the area is lightened and conceivably made improvements upon, and some of those gouges in the oak tree itself seem to heal slightly when it's placed.
us meeting her companion?
She's a dryad, so it's like the concept of death. She keeps asking you, but his tree is still alive, isn't it? So he should be fine. It's rather unknowable to her, being the type of creature that she is. But you impart in some way that his spirit is put to rest, and she seems happy about that, and asks Magnir when he will return, and she tries to play with his hair again.
Yeah, no. 3 days.
That is a long time. Maybe the cat will come back and play? I will let you in my tree and we can play tag.
Ooh, I like tag.
We will play the best of tags and then we will kiss. Because that is what we do, right?
I mean, we could discuss it.
She takes that as a yes, and you're free to go with the pledge to return if you wish to, and hang out with Vita Flavo, which is Latin for yellow ribbon.
Mm,
That's right.
good one.
Nothing impedes or stops you on your return back to the city and to the spire, laden with crystal spring water, with bearded tooth mushrooms, with lemon lime grass, and not only that, but sides of boar as you make your triumphant return. You are half an hour late.
But I have boar meat.
Bacon makes everything better.
That's
So-
true.
Zutalu is waiting out front.
Uh-oh.
Are we gonna play any of these cards, or what's going on?
I'll play them.
Do we know what they do? Are they magic or are they just
We
playing
should
cards?
roll
Yes.
history or arcana or something.
I have no clue.
I don't do the magic stuff, so I don't know.
We play poker all the time on chips. Rounds of bones or something.
I don't know. Hi, boss.
So
Oh,
Zutalu is
hi,
looking and he says, "Where have you been? It has been half an hour I stand here, waiting in the sun and the heat, sweating profusely. Where is my lemon lime grass? Where is my mushrooms? Where is the water of the crystal spring?"
All right, here. And we also have some yummy pork.
Yep,
Mm,
we got some boar meat too.
Zutalor! I love pork! Is this giant boar?
Yep.
Yes, it tried to kill us.
Look, I got the head.
us.
He is overjoyed. What is half an hour when you bring me meat as fine as this? Well cut, Magnir. Well cut. Come, come. And was your adventure adventuresome?
Yes. It
Yes.
was very adventuresome.
Good, good.
We found out about that friend of yours. What
What?
was his name? Tutti Frutti?
Oh,
I don't remember.
yeah.
Toodalors.
Yes, that was it.
Tutalu?
Mm-hmm.
You found Tutalu? Where's
Yes.
Tutalu?
Sort of.
Found.
What do you
Kinda.
mean?
Well,
He did not return from the.
Right.
No, he did not. He never came back.
Well,
Well,
no,
he
I
did
mean,
come back to
technically
Ye.
he did.
What?
He didn't.
Not, yeah.
He went.
Rosie.
Yeah,
Um,
Rosie, maybe you should explain.
It's only my first day, guys.
Newbie.
So we
Hazen the newbie.
you guys are awesome. Okay, so we went down the path and we found the boar and it tried to kill us. And that's when we got the lemon and lime grass. And we got all of that and then we went down the path. And it was really creepy and there were lots of trees and there was this dryad, right? And she had the big
Dryad?
oak. Yes, a dryad was
Yeah.
guarding the oak tree with the mushroom.
Right.
Her,
Mhm.
her name was.
And she was friends with your friend.
What?
Yeah, for real.
No, I
And
have been to that tree
then-
several times and never seen a dryad.
Maybe she was hiding.
Did you try to climb it? Because that's what.
Yeah, that worked
No,
really well.
I
That's,
just came for the mushrooms. Oh, the
Hmm.
well,
mushrooms.
you might have seen her if you tried to climb it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, try to climb it next time.
Yeah,
She likes to talk. Make sure you have plenty of time to spend, like a few hours, because that's what she wants. She likes to talk. She's kind of lonely.
Okay,
And
okay, you
then-
found the mushrooms at the oak tree, and there is a dryad there. What is about this? What the dryad? Tell me.
She,
Yes, that was it. And then we kept going to find the water. And then when we got to the water, there was really creepy ghost, and it tried to scare us away, but it couldn't scare us away because we
No,
really wanted the
ghost?
water.
Yeah.
And so we got
Get this hat.
with the hat with the
got a
feather.
Feather. Yeah.
Tutaloo is a ghost?
Yeah.
Well, he was.
Well,
He
he
kind of gave
was.
us a look like that.
But I think he's resting now. I think we gave him peace.
Yeah.
Because
He's gone.
we tied the yellow ribbon from your basket on the oak tree where the dryad was, and now everything's all better, and you have all your stuff and pork.
And pork. Don't
Can I
forget
have
the
a
bacon.
raise?
Ta-da!
Yay! I shall send you out into the forest more often, I think. Considering how successful you have been. So you're telling me Tutaloo was put to rest?
Yeah, he.
In a
How
matter
did
of
he
hope
come to
so.
die?
Well, it
It
looked.
was a water accident.
Yeah, it was a water accident.
Water accident?
He got
Mhm.
really, really sad because he thought the dryad forgot him, and then there was a water accident.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Water's really dangerous. I keep telling people.
Mhm.
I mean, first, yeah, some people.
Mhm.
Found a deck of playing cards. You want to play some poker tonight?
Yeah, let's play some cards, guys.
I'll deal them out. Who has the gold?
Zutalor goes on to cook the meal of a lifetime, served for the special guest, who is a well-regarded and well-known woodsman who carries around a big axe that's set to rest in a corner. One of you, no doubt, tries to play poker with a deck of cards, but the deck won't open unless you can read the runes on the outside and understand the instructions and name the number of cards you wish to draw before you take them.
Sorry, guys. Maybe we'll just play bones instead.
How
Everyone
do
got
You
some dice?
are in a magical spire, the academy, as it were,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, maybe we
as
can
your
find
characters
somebody.
no doubt make the decision or not to draw from a deck of many things, that is an adventure all its own for another time, where you have found the conclusion to not mushroom for options and have put to rest unhappy spirits and brought love back to life.
Yay!
Yay! That was awesome.
We did
I
it!
don't have anything else to
We did
finish
it!
up with. You blew this out of the water far quicker than I ever expected by having that ribbon right up in the face of the ghost to begin with. So good job on your part, Kim. Your characters are lovely. I enjoyed every single moment of them and wish I could see more of them.
It's
But-
playing with old people who know Tony Orlando.
But on the same note of wanting to know more about your characters, how can I find out more about you, individuals? And
Oh, you can go to Curious Crafts and watch me stream on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. East. Thursdays at 1 p.m. East, I make cute little holiday craft ornaments
They're really cute.
for your tree. And on Fridays, of course, you can just write homebrew along with me on Curious Crafts at 7 o'clock on Friday nights. East. So I'm on
sounds
East.
awesome. One of these Fridays soon, I will hope to pop in and I'll chat with you in Twitch about adding some of this flavor text and mushroom broth to your homebrew world.
We are doing a Die Hard Dice giveaway this Friday.
Ooh.
What a good Friday to do that on.
I know, right?
Lucky, why don't you tell us a little bit more about you, since we enjoyed your character so much tonight?
Well, thank you, and thank you for running. I'm the infamous Eel on Twitter, and those of you that are attending Rose City Comic Con in September, I believe, here in Portland, I will have a booth where the shop that I work at will be tattooing, and we'd love to see you. Come by, say hi, and we'll chat all things Nerdsmith and D&D.
Yes. Yes, Tessa and I have plans.
That's wonderful.
And a little bit scary.
I would
Hey,
love
you
to
know-
be there and stop by your booth. Kim, now that we
Yes.
know how much Rosie doesn't like combat or engaging,
Nope.
How does
she
one
has
engage
no
with Kim?
actual weapons at all. She just has a very heavy wooden spoon and a couple of kitchen knives.
well, she probably has cutting words or whatnot. Doesn't she? Has vicious mockery?
No, she's too nice for any of that. You want to hear her spells? This is her
Sure.
spell list. She's got Mending, Mage Hand, Healing Word, Silent Image, Fairy Fire, and Unseen Servant. They all help her out tremendously when she's baking in the kitchen.
I love it.
That's
Wonderful.
seriously
That's
on point.
awesome. Mhm.
So- Now that we know more about Rosie, how do we find out more about Kim?
You can follow me on Twitter at isitwine30yet. I also run the Instagram account for the Chaotic Goodness podcast, and we have lots of
Nice.
fun over there. Yeah.
Heather, I wanted to climb a tree with your cat so much. When she tried to climb the tree, I thought that was delightful. And so, since the Dryad dropped down on you, how about you drop some information in on us about yourself?
Okay, well, I've said it a couple of times, but I'm one of the directors here at Nerdsmith, so you can find me on a whole lot of Nerdsmith stuff. For anyone that uses Discord, we have a Discord server specifically for our creators, such as me, Kim, and Anne, to interact with the public. So you can come ask us questions, you can offer suggestions for different shows. I know Chaotic Goodness has a jump point situation where you can suggest basically new planets for them to arrive at. And Anne will interact with you, and she does giveaways for her adorable little ornaments. On the shows I'm on, Shenanigans, for instance, which again, we're streaming the last day of the sub drive. We have a new situation where if you donate enough money, you get to kind of not always mess things up, but you get to have a direct effect on what's going to happen on stream, including introducing an NPC if you want to. You can also do something called a time stop, where one of the characters or the DM, if you want to mess with us, but please don't, time stops and we get to go do something. So no combat. We can't hit anybody, but we could like run around and tie everybody's shoelaces together, or oh crap, I forgot that one item. I'm going to run a month back to town, grab the item, and come back again. Look, I didn't forget it. That kind of thing. So it's fun.
That's awesome. You're wonderful people to play with. You were very engaging. It's hard to put a one shot together for little level 1 characters. I hope you had a great time. My style of DMing is maybe a little bit different and more performative, and I'm thankful that all of you jumped on board with it as quickly as you did. I am so overwhelmed with gratitude for having been asked by Nerdsmith to come on and guest DM. I am just a little older guy who's singing a song about Dungeons and Dragons into the void and hoping it lights up somebody else's day. You can find me on Twitter, where I try to make other people feel special and wonderful. And I try to do that every other week with Tavern Tales Jr., where I take my 2 children and 3 of their friends on an adventure of their own choosing, week in and week out. And they just wreck the crap out of my storylines. I have a regular Tavern Tales podcast, which is my adult group, who are not as good as the kids. I will freely admit that to their faces and challenge them to be better at saying yes and taking their first choice when they're making decisions. That podcast comes out every Wednesday at taverntales.ca. Thanks again to Nerdsmith. This subdrive is important because what Nerdsmith is doing is important, and a small amount of money from your pocket will go a very long way to a large cabal, not a cult, of, of creators.
It's an important distinction.
And yes, it is. It's an important distinction. This cabal needs your help, and that's why we're doing this today. So go to Nerdsmith, and then after you type it in wrong, go to nerdsmith.org/subdrive and sponsor them today. Throw a little bit of money your way. If Critical Role can make $10 million on the request for one animated feature, the least you could do is help these people give you hours of free content for the next year to come. Thanks for everything. Unless anyone has anything else they'd like to say, I'd like to say thank you to those who stuck by the Twitch channel to the end of this tonight. And if you're watching it on playback later, thanks again. I'm Kyle. Good night.
Thanks, Kyle.
We have the giveaway.
Oh, there's a giveaway? Somebody can do that in chat. Did we get to the number?
I believe so, but yeah, we've got the giveaway is the last thing left. So
Cool.
One last chance if you want to be entered for the dice giveaway for the Die Hard dice, which are really pretty. They're these ones, the amethyst and gold, super pretty. Then type in !nifty spelled out, and then 50, the number's 50. Real quick, you got your last chance to enter, and then I think in like a minute, Logan's going to close it down and do the giveaway.
Okay, I did.
I don't think we qualify, or I do it too.
Well, technically, he's a friend of the network. He's not actually part of the network.
Oh,
so
well,
friend
go
of the show.
for it.
Winner of
Go
the
for it.
dice 3 times already. Don't include me in this thing. I have more than enough dice of my own. And I actually am really sorry. As an epilogue, while they're still pulling this up, I would like to suggest I do have a deck of many, and I was going to let you pull from it, but I left it in my basement and didn't think that the 2 minutes or so to run down 2 entire floors and then back up was going to be worthwhile. So we're closing it down, and they'll do the giveaway. If there's time and you think it's going to take some time to do that, I'll go get my deck of many.
I do have one question.
Like 3 feet away from me. Kid you not.
I do have a
What's your
question, Kyle.
Ann?
I have one downstairs too.
How much XP did we?
Oh, everybody leveled up to level 2.
Awesome! Woo!
I usually don't award XP, I just award levels. So when they've achieved a certain distinction, you get to level up. My kids played for 26 games at level 5, and then they leveled up to level 6, and I'm still not sure if I should have given it to them or not.
We do milestone XP also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
same
run
here.
countless too.
Yeah.
Mostly because these kids are 8 to 11 and they don't know what's on their sheet in the first place. Why add even more complicated things for them? But
This is fair. We're pulling the winner.
all right, here we go.
Okay, let's see what it is.
Saracena, you won.
Congratulations!
Thanks for sticking
Yay!
out.
Yay!
Congratulations.
And you're going to play with us later this week.
Even bigger winnings. What's up for the subdrive next, Heather? What's on tomorrow?
Hold on, let me pull up the schedule.
Here's
which
that bus,
I-
Heather.
There'll be 2 great
Don't have
shows
time to read.
tomorrow. I don't doubt one will happen in the afternoon and the other at this time slot tomorrow evening. And while Heather looks them up, they are...
Okay, so tomorrow is Wednesday. So we've got some of our normal programming, and then we've got the special event for the subdrive at the end of the day. Hold on, I'm just pulling that up. We have a lot of... Sorry, I have too many windows.
I can say that I am DMing the 23rd
Oh, excellent. In the afternoon, the evening?
evening.
Yes. Yeah, so our special event for the subdrive tomorrow is 7 to 10. It's going to be Colin Kelly from Champions of the Earth and he is running a game called Kobold Endeavors, which is a one-page RPG. He described it as Ocean's 11, but with kobolds.
Oh, cool.
Damn, I wish.
I want to be the
That
Asian
sounds
guy
fun.
that
Yeah.
tucked himself into all those tiny, crazy places.
Yes. And actually, our dice winner tonight, Sarah Senna, is in that game. And let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday, so from 12 to 2 p.m. PST, we have Discover RPG, which is going to be Logan and Angela. Tomorrow, I believe they have on someone from Perception Check, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And then at 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6, we have Matthew Siebert, who ran the game we had earlier here today. And he is going to be doing his homebrew studio, where he talks with chat and creates homebrew material and gives tips and tricks for how to do that for your own homebrew game.
Well, that's wonderful. I think there's some great content lined up. Everyone should come back tomorrow and cheer them on then. If that's it for us, that's it for me. So
Yep.
I'll say goodnight.
Night,
Thanks, guys. Good night. Good
Good
playing with
night.
y'all.
Great job, Kyle.